Hey allies, the BIOS 322 update is here, as well as a nice Armoury Crate update which we're going to show off for you. So has the 322 BIOS made any differences on the Ally performance wise? Well, yes and no. It's a bit of an interesting one and we'll dive into it in a little bit more detail towards the end. But a very quick showcase here at 15 watts with the 720 mode, with BIOS 322 on the left here, and the previous one on the right. We're definitely seeing higher battery usage, getting obviously slightly better frames per second at that same APU wattage, and slightly better temperature for the fan curve overall. But it's an interesting one per game. So you will know if you've had the BIOS update. If you didn't get the update first round, you can check in the live update utility and just expand the arrow and you'll see BIOS 322 here. We also got a nice Armoury Crate update. And just as a quick reminder of what this looked like before the updates, is if you had a manual performance mode, it would just show 15 or 30 watts depending on whether you were plugged in or not. There was also a bit of lag when you're opening both the side menu for the command center, although it's still quite rapid, as well as quite a delay when you're opening the main command center application. This has greatly improved after the update. If you haven't got the update automatically, then you can go into the Armoury Crate, scroll across and go to Update Center, and you can manually check for the update there. Now this does take around 2 to 3 minutes, and after the initial update it does seem to have another update once you launch it, so don't get too excited when you first run it. And once this is done, we've also got a nice extra tweak as part of this. So first of all, once that's installed, if I now go and show my manual performance mode, and you can see that this is a bit more snappy getting in and out of the menus as well. You can see that my manual operating mode now shows 22 watts when I'm plugged in and 18 watts when I'm unplugged. Now it is an 18-18-18 split on my manual mode, so I'm not quite sure why that's still showing 22 while plugged in, but at least it's closer to what I'm actually doing. Seems like there's an extra performance boost all round when plugged in. The extra option that we now have in Command Center is not added by default, so you will need to come into your settings and edit your Command Center if you now want to add the end task command to that side menu. This is effectively pressing Alt F4, so it's good to have this added in. It doesn't allow you to move them, so you just have to delete them and re-add them in the order that you want. Very minor addition, but a great quality of life improvement. Back to our performance then, if we look at 25 watt performance mode on the previous version on BIOS 319, you can see that we're pushing 77 degrees and 42 watts on our battery. But if we switch over to our new update of BIOS 322, we're still getting the 30 watts APU, but we're not quite pushing as high on the battery, and our FPS is better. Our temperatures are also better, but that's because they've been much more aggressive with the fan curve. And you can now notice the fan kicking in. You'll see that once it passed around the 72 mark, the fans do start spinning up a bit more and that temperature does start coming back down, even though we're pushing the same wattage. At 1080 with the turbo mode on battery, it's definitely performing a bit better than on the previous version. At 720 it seems to be using a bit more battery and also performing a little bit better, but on 1080 it seems to be performing better, but using slightly less battery. Now we have also done the disable CPU boost fix, which I'll link in the description below as well, in case you want to do that to save a little bit of battery life and get a bit more out of your GPU. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.